Man, I haven't joined the Pioneer League in a really long time, and we have a great opening hand. We have a really, really good opening hand. This deck, when it has Leyline of Anticipation, is amazing. Update title. Oh yeah, thank you. I found that updating the title is a good way to do away with the this isn't X deck in the title for whatever we're doing in between rounds. John's Sacrifice and Pioneer, very cool. Vintage Q back on Wednesday, that's cool. We can do that next week. So I think I'm playing Thassa's Oracle this turn, so next turn I can play Wizard's Retort plus Omen of the Sea. And the cards I'm looking for off of Oracle are going to be mostly Gadwick, Master Waves. I'd probably take a Thassa too. Yeah, definitely keeping Gadwick. Although probably waiting a turn on Gadwick. Sack is a mainstream deck. That's cool. I haven't been playing Pioneer like at all, so I don't know what's good. I don't know what's popular. I know like there's like the Valky combo deck that goes turn 2 Valky, turn 3 wins. That doesn't look that good to me, but maybe I'm wrong. You notice there isn't a sort of feast and famine in your Pioneer deck. Is this clickbait? So my opponent's thinking about killing my Thassa's Oracle right now. Yeah, my opponent, we won game 1 against Hammer Time, and I actually punted kind of hard against them, where I tried to Anthonize a Giver of Runes while they had Spellskite in play, and they like changed the target to Spellskite, then gave the Spellskite Pro white, which is a gross combo. But then my opponent, like they also made a mistake where they should have put their cranial plating onto their Spellskite and not put their cranial plating onto their Giver of Runes that we had Pithing Needled, and then they just conceded when I think they conceded when they realized they just made the mistake, which was a super early concession. So I'm gonna wait till they use this mana before I cast my Omen of the Sea, because it may change my mind on what I get. So next turn we're going to have 4 mana. We can't Merfolk Trickster into Callaphe. Though Callaphe is not that good on this board. I think I'll keep the Trickster then. Maybe I could have kept the Gadwick and just Gadwicked for 1 this turn. Although this is kind of nice to be able to go Trickster into Wizard's Retort, but we have to do it all in 1 turn, or in 1 go, because we can turn this into 3 blue mana, but we can't. We'd have to retort and we'd have to Trickster into Retort all at the same time. Although my opponent now looks like they have Collected Company. So I think what I'm going to do here is hope to get a little lucky and hope they don't respond to this Trickster with this. I think that they won't. Yeah, I think they'll Coco after this enters, because a lot of their stuff like wants my creature to be in play first, like their Priest of the Forgotten Gods. So you definitely got a little bit lucky to counter the Coco. Also, like drew the Wizard's Retort. All right, so we again can't Callaphe into Gadwick here. But we can Gadwick for 5, 6, 7 for 4, which is probably going to be the line. Second Priest of the Forgotten Gods. I love how Leyline of Anticipation just means my opponent just can't attack. Do I want a Callaphe here? Maybe I do. I think I'm just going to Gadwick. I love Callaphe though. Callaphe is so cool. Gadwick is also a really good card. Oh, is their last card Coco? And they're gonna Coco off of the Priest mana? That'd be pretty cool. Maybe they drew it off the priest, but it was probably their last card. That is cool. Into double Woe Strider. Whoa. Didn't draw a land, so I guess we're gonna cast Merfolk Trickster. And so Merfolk Trickster is gonna go 4, 5, 8 Devotion, and we can play Callaphe into Master of Waves. If they sack their priest now, which I guess they are going to do, then we just get to Master of Waves in response. Maybe I goof somehow. I don't know. I think doing this on upkeep to get the Gadwick tap triggers is pretty good. But here's kind of what I'm talking about. It's like, do you really need Mystic Reflection in the mix here? You know what I mean? I don't know. Just feels like Mystic Reflection is so unnecessary in this deck. Mayhem Devil, super scary card. Might be dead to it because of the this. So they sack here to. No, I don't think we're dead. I leave 4 mana looking for another copy of Master of Waves. So I'm gonna cast this for 5, drawing 5 cards. Yeah, it's definitely cool. I get it. I just think that if you want to build this deck the best it can possibly be, it is not good to include Reflection. They're going after my tokens here. Very interesting. I guess I was also not supposed to play my land because I could draw another Nykthos. Yeah. Kind of out of gas. Guess we're just dead. I think. Yeah, should be dead to the escape on the Woe Strider. Bummer. Go to game 2. So Bind the Monster is good against Priest, although they can... I don't know, these kind of effects are probably bad against Sacrifice decks. Can play the Domestication. This card seems good at least. Probably like 2 Aether Gusts. Borrower seems medium. I'm going to just cut the Callaphes in this matchup though. Maybe 2 Callaphes, 1 Retort. This is Pioneer. We're just playing it in between matches of the Modern Challenge. We're 2-0 in the Modern Challenge. Well, nice to have Leyline in both of our opening hands. Good draw. Instant speed Domestication is also cool. Veil of Summer banned in this format. It's kind of nice. They put the elf on the bottom. They do have a Priest of the Forgotten Gods. If we can Domestication Priest and then play Master of Waves, it's actually gonna be insanely good, I think. Well, now I guess they have a sack outlet. I think I need to bottom the Gadwick, sadly. Just like keeping another expensive spell when we're stuck on lands is unwise. Although if I knew if I had known there was another land underneath the Gadwick, I would have kept it, I think. Yeah, so now the timing of this domestication is going to be difficult. Or we can just use it as a removal spell for Priest, I guess. Just seems so unexciting to me. Not sure how much better it's getting. Could just play another Leyline of Anticipation, but... yeah, let's actually just do that. Let's get 2 more Devotion into play. If my opponent sacks their priest, just like try to draw a card, or taps their priest to draw a card, we can master in response, or master after the ability resolves, rather. And then if they still do nothing, we'll just like force the hand with the priest. Maybe they'll brain fart and not sacrifice it, but I can't really imagine that being the case. They sack their goats, sure. Hopefully they don't have Coco. Oh, they do have Coco, gross. Yikes. That was terrifying. The first time we blocked, we had to gain 3. Otherwise, we were just dead on board. So we blocked and gained 3, going to 3. And then we were at 3, so we attacked and gained 3, going to 6. The turn before that, it might have been better to... the turn before that, it might have been better to... I think I'm going to put back Borrower. The turn before that, it might have been... or the turn after that, it might have been better to make a token rather than gaining 3. But it did feel like gaining 3... putting us to 5-8 got us out of got us to like a pretty healthy life total, but kind of feels like a wash, to be honest. Ooh, Soul Herder or Soul Flayer. I'm gonna try to block this and Merfolk Trickster it. We'll see if our opponent is privy. Kind of nice that they don't get the trigger. Maybe Pioneer is fun. Hard to say, hard to say. I think I'm going to look for a Borrower, which I bottomed, or a Wizard's Retort here off of Thassa's Oracle. I guess I'll just take Master of Waves. They still don't have Hexproof in the graveyard. Merfolk Trickster, Slayer of Stitcher Supplier. So they are going to go for Soul Flayer, it looks like. Which is going to give them Double Strike, Flying, Indestructible, Trample, Haste. So do I want to bottom Master of Waves with Omen of the Sea? I don't think so. I think I'll still draw it. And then Omen of the Sea looking for Trickster or Borrower. Alright, we'll take Trickster. Oh no, wait, Trickster's actually nuts. Yeah, you know, Trickster actually we get to kill the Soul Flayer. We get to remove all of these abilities. That's kind of nuts. They do get to kill like 2 Tricksters, but you know, deal, right? Deal. The CP DVR's tweet about registering the top 5 worst cards of all time. That's the one where he wrote the wrong card down and then he had to play with like the 1-mana 1/1 and ended up winning the PTQ anyways. Alright, Grapple gets back Soul Flayer. Flying, Double Strike, blah blah. Oh, this has Hexproof now. What gave them the Hexproof? Oh, carry it did. Alright, good enough for me. Good enough for me. I guess we bring in Bind the Monster. It's not great. It's probably fine. Trim on Callaphe, trim on Thassa, trim on Oracle. Kind of like this. You can keep this hand. Registered multiple Scalding Cauldron for the MPL split. What's I guess I must have missed that. What was the reason for registering Scalding Cauldron? Was it because they were splitting the tournament? Oh, whoops. Wrong window. Blue-black Inverter of Waves. Interesting. I mean, my opinion is that you do like that. This is not really a combo. I mean, so it is Mystic Reflection, Thassa's Oracle, or sorry, Master of Waves, Mystic Reflection, Leyline of Anticipation is a combo, and it's very powerful when you get it going. But the thing is, Leyline of Anticipation plus Master of Waves is already a super duper powerful thing just by itself. And so I don't think that you also need to have like this 3 mana spell in the mix, because you know already is your combo like very fragile to instant speed removal, and this just makes it more fragile in my opinion. That being said, if this is what you want to do, right? If you want to play a blue-black combo deck because you miss Inverter, this seems like a great version to build it. A great way to build it. But I think that ultimately you're probably just not going to want to be in on this combo. But I actually really like the look of this list you have, if that is what you're trying to do. I really like the look of it. It's just like this combo I think is not something to be in on. Okay, I'm gonna I think just pass back here. The white mirror needed a colorless way to deal with pro white. Awesome. That's really cool. I love tech like that. Reflection plus Master does play around removal. The tokens enter as Master of Waves. No. If you Master of Waves and you Reflection, they remove in response to Reflection targeting the Master of Waves, right? I think you just lose the game. I know Saheeli the Gifted looks almost exactly like Esther. I don't think I've seen Saheeli the Gifted. Guess I could take a look. Yeah. Esther! Come here. So we have 5 mana, so we can retort bar. There's a planeswalker you look exactly or very similar to. Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen this art.
I guess.
I don't know, it's just like the smirk looks like you.
No.
Let chat decide. You can get on the camera. Make the face. Kind of.
No.
Kind of.
No.
Okay.
No.
Sure. What about none of the other Saheelis? You look like a stained glass. I don't really think you look like you're there. I feel like the facial expression does look like you to me.
No.
It's fine if you disagree.
I disagree.
Ow.
What?
Ugh.
Ow?
Snapping in my ear.
I wasn't
But I know it was like dead snapping, like it was.
Fine.
Oh, I see. Thanks, Double Wave. Yeah, I guess Healy doesn't have crab claws, so that would probably be like the big difference between you two.
Yeah, that's the big difference.
Yeah.
Does CV have anything there?
Put us down to 10. We're taking our first hit here. I think I'm just gonna Gadwick. Draw a bunch of cards. 5 cards? That's a lot. The bangs are too different. Yeah, but she got the bangs yesterday, so it's hard to evaluate Esther on that axis. Have I ever won a challenge? I've got second a few times. I've top 8'd a bunch, but I've never won one. I've won other tournaments. Yeah. I've probably played more PTQs than challenges. But PTQs are way harder. Thanks, Sonic. Yeah, it's been a weird start to the challenge today. It's felt very soft today, honestly. Have ever gotten last place in a challenge? I've probably 0-1 dropped before. That probably counts as last place. And if it doesn't, maybe it should. Guess we can't cast Leyline first. I think I'm just playing Master of Waves, and holding up Petty Theft. General thoughts on Pioneer? I haven't really been playing it very like at all recently, but we are today. Felt like a good time again. My goal in between rounds of challenges is always just to have a good time, and just like play for fun, you know, like Commander. To reference MTG Remy, and I'm having a good time. I haven't won a single match yet though, but I'm having fun. Oh, this is only my second match, I guess. Not to shout out other streamer. This means whatever. Yeah. Mono green is probably still great. There's a bunch of new. They got a bunch of new tools with like the Chariot and the Cosmos Elixir and Vorinclex and Old Growth Troll. And so figuring out the best way to build it is probably kind of difficult. But I agree that the deck is certainly probably still great. Yeah, I saw that Saffron Olive played the Squirrel Blade deck. It's cool. How's my challenge going? I'm 3-0. Been a weird one though. Yeah, I don't know. I know that like I'm honestly embarrassed. There's like one time where someone was like shouting out another streamer in chat, and I just like kind of without really thinking said that it was poor etiquette, which I kind of think that it is, but I also really don't care, and I think it actually should have the opposite attitude. So I just want to say I'm officially flipping the script, and if you can shout out streamers, and that's fine. Well, we're super dead here because they have Soul Flare plus Caryatid plus Zatalpa. And we don't have a counterspell, so we're going to make our opponent actually go for it, of course. Is there a streamer that makes lots of decks named Aspiring Spike? No such person. Just an MTGO user. They didn't go for it. It's awesome. Now we get to dig for a counterspell. They put Pathway into their hand. Do you mean when the opponent's a streamer? I just mean like coming into chat and like, you know, like recommend other streamers. I think that I've heard other people like say that that's bad etiquette, and I kind of agree, but I also like just don't really care. And I like one time said that it was bad etiquette, and I just want to make sure everybody knows I don't care, because there was a comment that like definitely seemed like it was kind of trying to make sure I didn't mind. You know, when you're streaming, when you're live, like, you know, 35, 40 hours a week, it's hard to not put your foot in your mouth every once in a while, and I definitely do every once in a while. And for that, I apologize. I might just Thassa's Oracle here. Get to dig for a lot. Yeah, it's definitely not a huge deal, but I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page. All right, I guess I'm taking Omen. I don't think they play any flash threats. We were just so dead if our opponent cast Soul Flare, and we just like if our opponent knew our list, they would know that I had no answers to it. And I also still haven't found. Okay, so I can't counter this, but what I can do is Petty Theft and go digging for a counterspell. Am I speaking of the Duke of Reeds? I mean, I love Reed Duke, but I wasn't specifically referencing Reed. Can I go Glasspool, Mimic, Omen, Petty Theft? Guess not. So we need to find Wizard's Retort here. Ding 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 ding. Yeah, I think my opponent just like had their sideboard card. Prowling Serpentard. Serpapard. How do you say this card? I don't know. I think they just have their sideboard card and they were really excited to get to use it, but it was probably not the card they needed to be on here. Alright, so I'm looking for Gadwick, I'm looking for Master of Waves. Bottom both of these. Not much sense in upkeep mimicking Thassa's Oracle, I guess, but if we just draw nothing, we can... Oh boy. We did not draw nothing. I have a response opponent. I will play Gadwick, the Wizened for X equals 8. B-Boy, redeem the deck tech. Alright, now your Thoughtseize resolves. Vanifar, cool. Rhythm is interesting. It's kind of my inclination that Rhythm is probably not great in the main deck. Maybe only sided in against blue decks. Would kind of be my... Hold on, me taking 4. That would be kind of my immediate impression. Hold on. Might actually not... I guess I don't have enough mana to go Thassa or Master of Waves, Mimic, immediately. Maybe I did actually. All right, let's just have a good time here. Let's see if we can break Magic Online. Then I'll get back to the deck tech. But I want to see if I can make Magic Online crash. It's lagging a bit. Alright, your turn. Yeah, I think I probably would sideboard these Rhythm of the Wilds. They don't really seem like they solve the problem of your deck being kind of soft to the red decks. I understand giving your Vanifar haste is nice, but like at the cost of 3 mana isn't. And in fact, there's a 1-mana 1/1 goblin that you can sacrifice to give a creature haste, and you may just want to play that as a Court of Calling target to give your Vanifar haste to go off. I like the Clothis a lot in the main deck, and I understand like the rest of the deck is like combo pieces. But not playing Rhythm also like can make you like let you main deck an Ariok champion potentially, which I know is hard to cast, but it would be very, very good in this metagame. Can maybe main deck Elder Gargaroth, potentially not though. I don't think you want Deafening Silence right now in this metagame either. I don't think it's currently very good. I guess I should have blocked. Oh no, this Questing Beast beat Thassa. I can't remember. All right, those are just kind of my initial thoughts. I've never played the deck either, so keep that in mind. Please let me hit you, opponent. Yeah, so Rhythm's max 2 in the sideboard. I think you could maybe play 3 in the sideboard, but yeah. Thank you for letting me hit you, opponent. Negative 342. All right. Not too bad. Oh, Pioneer. Who needs Mystic Reflection? Who needs Mystic Reflection? Not me. Going to 5. Keeping this. Putting back Island Wizard's Retort, probably. Stompy. Master of Waves is usually your best card in this matchup, although they have a lot of creatures that can like not be blocked by the tokens, which makes it for an interesting dynamic. Yeah, Mystic Reflection would have definitely made for more tokens that game. Attack with this, yes. I guess I'm looking for Nykthos. Do I want to keep Gadwick? I think I'm just going to say no to these. Thanks, Umad. It would be cool to do well in the challenge. I'd really like another top 8. It's been a while. Especially when you're playing your fun homebrew Squirrel Blade deck, you know. So, can maybe Callaphe trade for a Lovestruck Beast here. Could maybe just take this hit, though. Primal Mites. Well, pretty easy petty theft, then. It's a great draw. 4, 5. So we can't double spell here, but I do think that I'd prefer to play either Callaphe or Brazen Borrower this turn, and then double spell next turn and make a bigger master. When does the next round start? Probably kind of soon. Yeah, very soon. Maybe I wasn't supposed to jump into another round here. How much devotion do you need to make the Oracle Trigger be worth a card? I mean, it's never worth a card, you know? It's never putting a card into your hand. It's so hard to evaluate, but the trigger is still like good card selection. But I know this is like, I'm kind of running this meme into the ground, or it's not really a meme, but I like the whole attitude that scrying X is worth a card. I just think should be changed. I think that kind of attitude or that thinking is flawed a bit. Do I think Hierarch is really needed in this Bantblade deck? I think Hierarch is good in the deck. I think you can construct it without it. You probably play 2 more lands and then 1 more spell, or sorry, two more spells. But I think Hierarch is good in the deck. I understand that Hierarch is not the best in the metagame that it's ever been. Yes. Wait, is it wrong to block like this? Yeah, we just take 8 and kill them, right? They have no cards in their hand. And we draw the best card possible. And this is what I'm talking about with Mystic Reflection. It's like, you just don't really need it, I guess. Or I think. Is this CMC? No, it's power. So I'm not a big fan of Borrower against green decks usually. Thassa is great. Callaphe is also a bit awkward, though. Maybe I need to be trimming on retorts. Card doesn't actually seem like it lines up well, and I'm bringing in a lot of spells, so maybe we'll play like 1 Callaphe, 2 Borrower. Just have a density of devotion. How's Leyline in the deck? It's the best card. I truly like this is a keepable hand because Leyline is this good, and also the Nykthos plus, you know, the Oracle. But Leyline is the best card in the deck in my opinion. Second best card. I think it's better than Nykthos. I'd rather have a Leyline in my opening hand than a Nykthos. I mean, maybe Master of Waves is better, but Master of Waves is partially as good as it is because of Leyline. Yeah, sure thing, Maniac. This is my favorite Pioneer deck, so I'm happy to play it today. Seems fun. Just playing a lot of old hits. Where's our Tidebinder Mages? I don't know if I ever played Tidebinder Mage in this deck. Maybe I did. It's definitely been a long time if I ever did. Yeah, it makes a bit more sense in your version, I agree. Nightveil Spectre? No, Spectre's pretty bad, I think. I think it's worse than Callaphe, Thassa, Brazen, Borrower, or potentially even, like, the 3-mana X4 flyer. X is the number of islands you control. I might wait a turn on this Master of Waves. I'm not 100% sure. If we wait a turn, we do get 1 more token because of Bind the Monster. Probably good to wait here. We're really in on this Master, so especially if we can just draw a another you know, anything to make Devotion, it'll probably be worth it. So we can tap this for 4. So they like definitely have a collected company, but like instant speed Thassa is also really good in this spot. All right, the next round of the challenge is starting soon. Well, we may be able to win this this match before then, or like at least pretty quickly into our challenge match. So like Mystic Reflection would be a win here. I mean, sure, but also, like, it feels like a bit disingenuous when we're a bit flooded. And we also don't have enough mana to Mystic Reflection plus Master of Waves, so that's also just not true. Right? We're 1 mana short. If we had already foretold it, I guess, but we had it, you know. I don't know, it just feels a bit disingenuous. Because it's always 3 mana, right? And we just didn't have 7 mana that turn, we only had 6. Bottom that. Draw another island. A deck tech for that blue magic guy. So Breach. I don't know if you're familiar with the that second Coco. I don't know if you're familiar with the islandless or, you know, the boil resistant mana base that I've been playing. But I would continue to be playing that for a few different reasons. Pull up my list. Sorry, there's so much going on. Playing against Allurius, I think I'm putting back second Queller. Let me just wait a second on the deck tech. I'm double queuing, and hopefully we can just kind of end this game real quick. Reflection is 2. Oh, I thought it was 3. I really thought it was 3. Okay. Then you're right. Yeah, no, that does make it better than I had evaluated it. Yeah, I was under the impression it was 3 mana. Don't know why. If I block here, they can pump the human to kill my Thassa's Oracle, and then I don't have enough devotion. Oh, I do have enough devotion to keep Thassa alive, so we'll just block, we'll block here. Put a turn 1 Inquisitions me in the challenge. Be cool to draw a Glasspool Mimic or another Master of Waves. I don't know if the green-red prowess deck is playable. Definitely a show for how long you've been following, if that was the deck that had you follow. Ah, got my wish. Got my wish. Is my opponent dead? I don't think so. Oh, they conceded though, thank goodness. Ah, always so sad to mulligan double Leyline. Keep this hand. Put back Glasspool Mimic. The Mimics have felt really good in this deck so far. And then what's the cutoff for 8 rounds, General Mongoose? If it's really 128 is the cutoff for 7, then X and 2 is pretty live for top 8. They foretold a card. Can Leyline make it in Modern? I've tried to build this deck in Modern. You really don't get that many upgrades, though, is the problem. Like, you get Spreading Seas, and that's about it. And so it's just like you're playing a Pioneer deck in Modern for the most part. And this is already like a marginal Pioneer deck. But my favorite Pioneer deck. Opponent reading Callaphe, Beloved of the Sea. Three mana Draconic Roar. Oh, they're playing dragons. That's so cool. Awesome. Do I need to hold up Wizard's Retort then? I don't think so. If they play Goldspan Dragon, Gadwick can maybe just like tap it forever. Kind of scared of Glorybringer. It's not a bad draw. No 5-mana dragon is also a big deal. Yeah, if they just kill this, I'll just play another Gadwick. Or maybe I'll play Leyline first. Nah. There just like aren't that many 2-mana counterspells they can have here. They do have a Foretell card, I guess. Ah, they saw it coming. Might actually be 8 with 137. Kind of a drag, to be honest. 8 rounds for these challenges just feels like a bit much. But you're right. That's probably the cutoff. It's probably 8 rounds. But I tend to prefer these events to be 7. How's my Mana Traders going? I'm not playing in it. I don't know. I find like I just feel like I don't have the time to play in the Mana Traders events. They are cool. They are cool events, but I don't really think that the Swiss portion is very good stream content, and I don't really find that I have like the time to play all of those off-stream matches when I'm like also trying to test in leagues off-stream. I don't know. Like the metagames in those tournaments are always so weird. And they end up, I think, just not being great practice. Probably holding the Glasspool Mimic here. But it did put a card on top with Temple of Epiphany. We lost to Grixis, a kind of a Dreadhorde Arcanist Grixis Shadow deck with Sprite Dragon and Kroxa, like a lot of cantrips. It was interesting. The list looked good. Okay. I've never won with a Thassa's Oracle trigger before, but boy would I like to. So we have 7 mana off Nykthos plus 2 lands, so that's 9 mana. So we can play Master of Waves, Glasspool Mimic Master of Waves with Wizard's Retort up. It's probably good to do in my opponent's upkeep. Just make them have 2 counter spells. I guess they can't Fire Impulse Master anyways, but I'll do this now. Yeah, Glasspool Mimic was the real Mystic Reflection all along. Yeah, I was thinking about building blue-red dragons today for some of our Pioneer matches. I decided against it. You want to Mimic with the trigger on the stack to get the extra token too. I wanted to I thought that if they had a removal spell for Master of Waves, they were more likely to respond to the Master of Waves trigger than not. So if they had a removal spell, I wanted to just respond with the Glasspool Mimic and then hold up the Retort for their turn. So that was my thinking there. Yeah, and I don't think the 1 extra horse matters at all. But if they have a removal spell, they're more likely to respond to the trigger, and then I can respond with Mimic and hold up the counter spell. And I should have articulated. So you have Glasspool we can play as a land. I think this is a keep. Kind of pretty medium hand though. It's a good draw. Can't believe how long it took me to play Omen of the Sea in this deck. Omen's so good. It would be probably actually broken if it cost blue. Maybe that's a bit of an exaggeration, but it would be really, really good. Yeah, hopefully our opponent's playing the Scalding Cauldron. What's Jace's defeat for? Oh. I kind of just didn't see that those were in the sideboard. My sideboard is super out of date, for whatever that's worth. Probably not that much. And I don't really know what's in the format, so I just kind of kept a very similar sideboard to what I had last. But yeah, I should have brought it in. Is this spell or ability? It is. Just gonna Gadwick for 1. Probably. Little late Leyline, but it is sometimes fine to just hardcast the Leyline. Fair enough. It might be correct to just hardcast Leyline here. I actually think that that's the line. I think that they're kind of likely to just not counter it. And this makes our maneuvering so much easier, especially if we draw a land and we can go Merfolk Trickster, tap this, then activate Nykthos. Goldspan's good though. We dead to Goldspan? I guess so. Yeah, we Trickster this, but we still take 3. Okay, let's go to game 3. Maybe I actually even don't want Jace's defeat because we just don't counter the red cards. but like Dispute's still good against like the 3 to 4 mana, 5 mana dragons. Maybe I'll cut the. Probably don't want to cut any disputes. Maybe I do. Maybe I'll cut the 4th dispute for like the first Aether Gust. Can I have Leyline and a 7-card hand with lands, please? Yeah, opponent's deck does look cool. Should be able to finish this match without multi-Q. Alright, that is a Leyline with multiple lands. Exactly what I asked for. I can play Glasspool Mimic as a land at instant speed. That would be cool. Not how it works, but it would be. I will say that Teferi Time Raveler was always the best card against Mono Blue, as it was just, you know, the best card against a lot of decks. So no more Teferi does make Mono Blue a bit better. Mono Blue probably has a really hard time against Mono Green. Planeswalkers, though. No, don't Petty Theft. Oh, just for... Might be good to just play Gadwick. Yeah, if we play Gadwick and they don't kill it, then we can Master of Waves with Retort up next turn. Playing it now to play around counter spells. Although, could have also done it end of turn. Yeah, just a braid. Maybe this was bad. I'm not 100% sure. But we can also just main phase this Master. They have to have Mystical Dispute here to stop it. Oh, they can't because this is not modern. And then Master being pro-red is really, really good against them. Fair enough. You have a dispute? Damn it. It's bad. Bit flooded, and I like really, really regret playing the guy. Then we have to let Borrower resolve. We just like don't have the Retort up right now. And like they have a Foretold card, we saw it coming last. Mystical Dispute is becoming pretty dead, which is not irrelevant here. They foretell another card, so we probably just want to main phase Master of Waves. Sure. We had a kind of a land light hand, but just it does feel bad to not have these Glasspool Mimics as, you know, the flood insurance, because we just draw them in the wrong order. And one of their foretell cards was Saw It Coming. I saw that. There's not like a we don't have quite Cryptic Command to pick up our Glasspool Shore either. I don't think there's like a good card that does that. Opponent plays Behold the Multiverse. They put 2 cards on their bottom of their on the bottom of their library. Get in with Borrower. And passes. Missing land drops, notably. I guess I played Nykthos to play around Double Dispute on the Trickster, although it's, you know, not very relevant. We lost to a pretty cool Grixis Dreadhorde Arcanist Shadow deck. Still doing. You finally drawn a spell too. So the treasure token also doesn't trigger off of an ability targeting the dragon, which is interesting here. And if we draw Gadwick, Master of Waves, we should be able to resolve them. So we have lots of really big draws. Glasspool Mimic. It's a good draw. Uh-oh. Oh boy. The sweat. Okay, Thassa's probably worth keeping here. Put our opponent down to 6. We're dead to another 4 mana, or a 4/4. We're dead to another 4/4 dragon. Well, I don't think we could have bottomed the Thassa. Wow, these are both really good. So I guess if we had bottomed the Thassa, we actually could have maybe beaten a 4/4 dragon. Yeah. Stinks. The amount of games you've won, yeah, that's true. I've only lost 2 games, but the amount of games you win don't actually matter that much for tiebreakers. It's your opponent's match win percentage that matters way more. Put a multi of 4. The red-black Pyromancer deck. Down to just petty theft this. Did we lose round 1? No, we lost in round 4 in the challenge. Last week we lost round 1. This probably wasn't clear. So we can play Callaphe, and then Callaphe makes any removal they have for it. Costs 1 extra mana, so we might just get to eat the Pyromancer here. Also dodges Fatal Push, dodges any shock. They do decide to not play into the Callaphe, so let me actually play Thassa to try to find a land. Ideally Nykthos. Did not find a land, but I think it's probably worth it to try to Omen into one. Come on. Come on. Yikes. A little unlucky. We're 4-1 in the challenge. Alright, I think we have to keep this. And not be thrilled about it, but flashing in Callaphe and maybe getting to kill both creatures is pretty nice, and definitely do want to play my land. I mean, no real reason to respond to this because we have 2 Callaphes. They'll probably just take my Gadwick, which is not great for us, but it's fine. And they have Urborg, Tomb of Yawgmoth. I guess I would be fine trading Callaphe for Luris. Well, I might just make it unblockable. I'm gonna bottom the 3rd copy. Nykthos is a weird draw. Let me cast Thassa's Oracle and just see what I'm finding next turn. Could take this Nykthos. Might just want the Master of Waves though. Master of Waves seems just so unbeatable for them. They can chump with the young Pyromancer and replay it. Just gonna make the Callaphe unblockable. Have I married any viewers yet? No. Not yet. Nobody loves me enough to collect 2 million channel points. Do something like this. Looks kind of good to me. You're on your way? Hell yeah, Ross. Is a marriage a life decision? So, we get this question a lot, but the life decision channel point redemption option works very similar to the wish spell in D&D, where if you wish for something more powerful than the wish spell, it fails. And so, a marriage is worth 2 million channel points. A wish is worth 1 million, and so very clearly you can't just life decision to shortcut. Could you have gone for upkeep Oracle 2 turns to go for land? Maybe that was better. Although I think with like the Thassa, we were like pretty likely to hit a land, and like the upside was like better to not upkeep Oracle. I can keep this. Put a mold to 6. I mean, if they mold to 4 again, I'm not going to complain too much. Turn 1 Stitcher Supplier, milling over 2 Arcanists and a Thoughtseize. Right on time. Wouldn't it be a Leyline deck without drawing the turn 1 Leyline? Like more than half the time. So probably Draw Step, Gusting, Pyromancer. I'm probably just casting this Leyline on turn 4, and it probably will be pretty good. They have Village Rites. They Village Rites sack the Pyromancer, so they don't get their token. It's fine with me. But they claim back their Arcanist, which is bad for us. I think we actually play this. Put Glasspool Mimic on top. Probably can't afford to block Supplier either and just give them fuel for their Arcanist. I'll block the Arcanist. Well, they're not even attacking with it. So we lose our Master of Waves, probably. Oh boy. Opponent's deck is cool. Might just be going to game 3 in a second. No, I guess we're not. I guess we're not. So we're going to discard the Omen to the Kroxa. Then flash in Master of Waves. Have some decent blocks, and then we can top deck well. Is there any merit to Rakdos Arcanist listed in Modern? I think they don't seem very good to me. I know that people try to make them work. Any cards I want to see with the Old Border and Time Spiral Remastered? Celestia Charm. Maybe better to hold lands. How could we have held a land here? Doom, thanks for the raid, dude. I guess your tournaments didn't go well today, but nice of you to raid. We're playing some Pioneer in between rounds of the challenge. We're currently 4-1 in the Modern Challenge with Bant Squirrel Blade. And I thought it might be fun to just play some old Pioneer decks in between rounds. We're currently 2-2 going to game 3 with my favorite Pioneer deck, Mono Blue Devotion. Yeah, Urza and Yawgmoth would be really good choices. There was a card I wanted, Old Border. Master Waves would be really cool, Old Border. There was another card I was thinking about, though. Oh, Fatal Push. Fatal Push was a card I'd love to see Old Border. I feel like, for whatever reason, I feel like spells look like they look like instants and sorceries look better in Old Border, and then permanents look better in like the newer Border, and I don't really know why, but that tends to be my preference. Double Leyline Nykthos, hell yeah! Turn 3 Master of Waves with for 5. Although I mean Thoughtseize would be bad for us. Yeah, Thoughtseize Old Border would be really cool too. It seems like they're doing a good job with the old border reprints, so I definitely have faith that they'll have some sweet ones for every color. Because spells are old and good, and maybe it's true, like maybe old spells are better than like old creatures, and so like seeing an old border creature makes you think that the card's not that good, but an old border spell is exciting. So like I don't really see myself ordering like too many old border creatures personally. Alright. If my opponent goes Black Source, Thoughtseize, we can cry. Well, it's another Thoughtseize, but Thassa is actually going to get to block this really well. Is there a lightning bolt with that spell frame? Yeah, like the original ones are. I think my lightning bolts are old bordered actually. I don't have my binder here. I've got 4 in black border bolts, which is not like the biggest flex ever, but they do look nice. Guess we're losing our hand here. To be fair on creature spells, yeah. I mean, I clarified, you know, instants and sorceries though. Well, opponent's afraid, as they should be. So we have 5 mana. Can't play both spells in my hand. But Callaphe is going to be a 7/3 that taxes our opponent. And then also just Thassa is super good against our opponent with double Leyline of Anticipation. In fact, they're just dead next turn to Callaphe if they don't have a removal spell for it. So maybe it's better to not block Dreadhorde Arcanist, because like a lot of their removal spells are like Shocks and Kolaghan's Command. But if we just don't block, then like they can't Fatal Push. They have to like they can't Bloodchief's Thirst. Yeah, I think we just don't block. Maybe better to play Callaphe last turn to charge up Nykthos. Maybe. But like I think the Scry one matters a lot when we're low on resources. It's like a Scry one is worth half a card. Sorry, we've been joking a lot about that lately. Scry one does matter though. Alright, they had Dreadbore, stinks. I'll keep that though. It's fine. I always thought that Thassa being able to give herself unblockable was just so amazing.